Many of you have expressed to me a real interest in the two presentations we're doing tonight, which include a radiological program at Site 12. Danielle Janda is the project manager, and she'll be speaking to us about the results of that. And then a removal action that's going on right now in the TI neighborhood at Site 12. Tony Conson will be presenting on that. I will give a quick update on Site 27, 31, and 33. And then we'll go over what we're doing in the field and some of the documents that we're tracking. And then we have the regular announcements and RAB business to do. And then we'll have a question and answer period at the end of the evening. I'd like to call Danielle Janda up, and then we'll begin the first presentation.
Hi everybody, I'm Danielle Janda. I'm the Navy project manager for the radiological scan work that we've been doing in the neighborhood. For people that lived here, you guys have probably seen some of our detectors and things like that that have been running around. So basically we found some objects with that radiological scan. I'm going to talk a little bit about. First, I want to put kind of some of the numbers that we're going to show you into context, and then I'll go into each and everything that we found with that scan. So first, I think it's really important that everybody understands that radiation is something that we're exposed to every day. So the average person is exposed to about 620 millirem of radiation per year. So millirem is just a unit that expresses radiation dosage. And 620, that's the average of the average person in the US. Depending on where you live or the job that you do, you're actually could be exposed to much more. So for example, people that live in Colorado are exposed to much more than 620 milligrams per year because they live closer to the sun and they get more exposure to sun radiation. Or for example, if you're a flight attendant and you spend more time on planes, then you're also exposed to more radiation. So it's not, you just have to keep these numbers when you hear them into some sort of context. So about half of this radiation that you're exposed to every year, half of it is just from natural sources like the sun or basically the ground that we walk on, things like that, and about half is from man-made sources. And 2% of all of the radiation we're exposed to approximately is from consumer products. And one thing to note, so the Nuclear Regulatory Council, the NRC, they limit members of the public to 100 millirem per year above regular everyday background. So that doesn't mean that if you're exposed to more than 100 millirem per year that you're in danger or anything like that. That's just kind of a general number that really you want to keep below. You don't want any objects that you're exposed to more than 100 milligrams per year just to maintain a safe environment. So these are just some examples of everyday sources that were exposed us to radiation. Smoke detectors are very common. Watches and clocks, especially older watches and clocks, usually everything that glows is radioactive material. Glass has natural radioactive material in it. Fertilizer and lots of food that we eat also does. And tobacco is a big product that people use that actually has a lot of radioactive materials in it. So one thing that's really important to understand about radiation dosage is as you get further away from any source, your dosage significantly decreases. So for example, if I'm standing away from an object and I'm being exposed to 1 millirem per hour, when I go 5 feet away, I'm only exposed to 0.04 millirem per hour. And when I go 10 feet away, I'm only exposed to 0.01 millirem per hour. So in order to get a really strong dosage, first of all, you need a really strong source, and you have to be very close to that source. And that's actually one way that they minimize exposure of any kind of workers that works with any kind of radioactive materials. They limit the proximity that people can get to any kind of source. The main radioisotope of concern at Treasure Island in general is radium-226. So radium-226 is a natural occurring element. It occurs at low levels in all rocks, soil, water, plants, and animals. And So the general background radiation dosage that we get from the natural radiation in our soil here at Treasure Island is between 0.005 and 0.008 milligram per hour. The radium-226 does not degrade quickly, so it stays in the environment. And the types of radiation that it emits are alpha radiation and gamma rays. So it's kind of important distinction because alpha particles are blocked by the skin, so you can't the only way you can be exposed to alpha radiation is by actually ingesting it or inhaling it. Gamma rays, however, that can actually get through the skin. So that's really what we ended up measuring in the field is gamma radiation.